Good morning, everyone. I am James Ottaviano.
And I am Josh Timko. In the news today, a look back at In the Heights and catching up with the boys' varsity baseball team. Former professional basketball player Chris Herron spoke at Amity on Wednesday, March 15th about his past addiction to drugs and alcohol, including throughout his year at Boston College and Fresno State, and even in the NBA with the Boston Celtics and Denver Nuggets. The talk was arranged by members of the Community Action Club, including their presidents Max Hurwitz and Danny Horton, along with vice presidents Jake Milner and Morgan Bloom. The club is advised by teachers Amy Miller and Alexandria Grosson. Herron discussed a variety of issues he faced because of his constant struggles with drugs and alcohol. The presentation was very well received by everyone, and some people wore purple to help support Project Purple, Herron's foundation. Herron has practiced sobriety since August 1st, 2008, and now goes around the United States empowering people with his story. The spring musical is always a hit, and this year was no exception, as In the Heights transported audiences to Washington Heights, New York. Amity Creative Theater flipped the lights onto Washington Heights for this year's spring musical. The cast and crew put on the show for 5 nights to sold-out audiences. For 5 nights, this year's spring musical dazzled audience members with its newer music that varied from hip-hop and R&B to slower, more somber songs, along with hypnotic dance sequences. The easily relatable story, which was laced with themes involving change, financial difficulties, relationships, and finding your home, was enough to evoke laughter, tears, heartbreak, happiness, and nostalgia all in one. The cast and crew overcame setback after setback to put together what one audience member called the best show in Amity theater history. Every year, the theater department tries to bring a different feel, style, and genre for their spring musical to challenge both the actors on stage and the kids behind the scenes as well, including the band.
But we just try to pick a show that number one, that we will find interesting and challenging, and then we think it will be something totally different from what we did the previous year.
With a new show comes a fair share of problems that the cast and crew must work at solving, including having to use 2 understudies for major roles just days before opening night.
Honestly, I have to give huge props to the 2 understudies, Max and Ryan, because they made it easy. They knew their stuff right off the bat, and they built relationships in days, and we ended up having to put on 2 understudies opening night, and it ended up being an amazing show.
The family dynamic among the cast and crew was stronger than ever. When describing acting so close with the other performers on stage, Junior Kevin Durkee noted that a lot less acting was necessary for the family relationships and friendships their characters had because the actors were, quote, living it. Upon announcing the musical, many of the actors were shocked and displayed their concerns that the show would not live up to the hype. Fortunately, when the costumes were put on and the lights were brought up, all that negativity was left at the door.
Once we all kind of changed our images and then put our costumes on, and then the lights and the sound and the music all came together, it enhanced the way we felt, and we kind of just lived in the culture.
On Monday, June 2nd, the cast and crew attended the Connecticut High School Musical Theater Awards, where they were graced with a whopping 18 nominations as well as 3 wins. Nominations included choreography, orchestra, costume design, chorus, actress in a leading role for Shaylin Harger, actor and actress in a supporting role for Ryan Ratley and Alita Ballou, best direction for Robert and Andrea Kennedy, and production of the year. This year, as with every year, shows great promise for the future of Amity Theater Department. For WABN Real News, I'm Josh Timko.
Each year, the PTSA holds a senior breakfast the day before graduation. This year's senior breakfast will be held on Thursday, June 19th. During the breakfast, a free raffle is traditionally held for the graduates. The PTSA is looking for donations of any items, think dorm supplies, or gift cards. Please consider donating something to the raffle. To make a donation, please contact Eileen Babbitts or Polly Demersion. Volunteers are also needed to help out at the breakfast. Donations of baked goods and breakfast foods will be appreciated. On Thursday, June 12th, the Amity National Honor Society and the Red Cross will host a blood drive from 6 a.m. to 3 p.m. in the main gym at Amity Regional High School. Eligible members of the community are encouraged to donate. The Amity boys baseball team has made a good season of it. With more on the team, here is Spencer Arnell.
I'm here at the Amity boys baseball field, while the Amity Spartans are gearing up for their championship run. This year led to a rough start for the Amity boys baseball team. However, things are starting to look up for the team. After starting with a record of 3 wins and 4 losses, Coach Capola reminded his team that in 2003 they started 1-4. Then they were runner-ups that year in the state championship. Now the team has fought to become 7-5 overall and 4-1 in the Housatonic division. After winning the state championship last year, there are high expectations. The team started off struggling, but now things are looking up. Captain Sebastian DeMauro said that there was a large difference in players' experience between last year and this year.
On a lot of seniors from last year, a lot of younger kids are playing now, and when you don't have the experience, it's a different team.
Captain Jake Russo echoed this statement, mentioning that the team has lost many important seniors, including 2 of their best pitchers.
Last year's team, we had 11 seniors and 2 really, really good pitchers. But, we got 2 pitchers this year that are good too. But.
However, losing seniors has not stopped the team in the past. Over the past 4 years, the team has been extremely successful, winning the SEC championship and the state championship in 2013. The captains had no doubt that the team was still very strong and are going to continue with that success, and that team can win another state championship. Russo and DeMar both agreed that hitting was the team's greatest strength.
Our hitting's really good this year. We got everyone in our lineup's consistent, and we all come up clutch.
The Amity boys baseball team still has a difficult road ahead of them, but even with the loss of 11 experienced seniors and 2 of their best pitchers, the team has fought hard to come back from their 3-4 record, jumping to 7-5, and will continue to fight for another state championship title for the 2nd year in a row. For WABN Real News, I'm Spencer Arnell.
The 39th Annual Connecticut Academy of Science and Engineering annual meeting was held last week at the Crown Plaza Hotel in Cromwell, Connecticut. Keynoting the event was Nobel Prize laureate Professor Robert Schiller from the Yale School of Management, who addressed current and new case members as well as award-winning students from across the state. Amity's science research project was recognized with Daniel Giebisch placing 4th overall at the Connecticut Junior Science and Humanities Symposium and attending the National JSHS. Both Giebisch and the school received a monetary award as well as an official signed and sealed statement from Governor Daniel P. Malloy, recognizing Giebisch's scientific contribution.
While the academic year is rapidly coming to a close, the summer affords some good time to catch up on the reading that might otherwise be neglected during the school year. English Department Chair Julie Shevin is here with more.
Hi, Amity. Summer's coming and you know what that means. Lazy days, sleeping in, eating lots of ice cream and watermelon, and lying on the deck reading. Even if you're just looking for a book for your summer reading project, or if, like me, you use the summer to catch up on all the reading you don't have time to do during the year, we've got some recommendations for you. We asked the Amity community, your friends, your teachers, your administrators, what they like to read. And here's what they told us.
I just wanted to share with you what I'm going to be reading this summer. It's from the Game of Thrones series. Started watching the HBO show, got intrigued by that, decided to pick up the books. I read the first 3 books in a matter of one summer, and now here I am reading the 4th book, Game of Thrones. The beauty of these books is that you get the detail and the background of why getting to the throne is such a big thing, and you understand more about the politics of all the human interaction that's going on in the TV series. Pick it up, try it, it's fun, it's good, exciting.
My favorite book is The Alchemist. I chose this book because it's about following your dreams, despite the obstacles that stand in your way. So if you've ever faced adversity and you're looking for a book about strength and courage and dreams, this is the book for you.
The Fault in Our Stars by John Green is a story of a girl my age who struggles with cancer.
I love cooking and baking, and so I also love nonfiction. And so I found this book last summer called Don't Try This at Home, and it's by Kimberly Witherspoon and Andrew Friedman. They're the editors, and these are stories from famous chefs about their worst kitchen nightmares. So a lot of quick stories about real-life disasters by famous chefs.
What first attracted me to 1,000 Splendid Suns was that it was written by the same author as The Kite Runner, a book that I really enjoyed. And this book, 1,000 Splendid Suns, gave me a look at Afghanistan women and the struggles that they face. And it really gave me an appreciation for what they go through. And it's a great book. I'm sure you'll love it.
I'm Amy Miller. And I'm Kassan Pine. And I'm the faculty advisor. And I'm the president of the Young Adult Book Club. I'd like to recommend Sarah Dessen's Just Listen. It's about a teenager and another teenager and love and difficulty. It's a story for everyone. It's also the book that began the Young Adult Book Club when a few students who graduated 3 years ago came to me and were talking about the book one day after school in my class, and thus began our club.
And I would like to recommend A Sea of Tranquility by Katja Mala, which is about pretty much the same thing as Just Listen. But it has a really suspenseful plot and really interesting characters. So yeah, if you like to read, then you should join the Young Adult Book Club.
If you read, you belong.
A book I'm suggesting to read this summer is The Song of Spider-Man. I like to read my books on my iPad, which is, I can carry it with me and I can read multiple books at a time. But The Song of Spider-Man by Glenn Berger tells the story of the hugely unsuccessful Broadway musical Spider-Man, Turn Off the Dark, that was written by Glenn Berger and members of the band U2.
I'd love to recommend the book Infinite Jest by David Foster Wallace. It's about family and education and addiction and tennis and entertainment. It's wildly funny, but it's also very serious, and it helped me become a person who pays better attention to the world around him and the thoughts and feelings of other people.
The Hot Zone by Richard Preston is a thriller of historical fiction that outlines the struggle of CDC workers in containing an outbreak of Ebola, a deadly virus, near Washington, D.C.
A book that's had a huge impact on me is a book by Ayn Rand called Anthem. It's a book about finding your individuality in a post-apocalyptic age and forcing yourself against societal norms. It's a really powerful book.
The Glass Castle by Jeanette Walls is a really good and impactful memoir about her struggles with poverty and neglective parents as a child and how she overcomes it.
Hi, I'm Mr. Clark, and I recommend American Born Chinese by Jean Luen Yang. It's a graphic novel, and it's really funny, but it's also really informative, and it's a real eye-opener to how hurtful and how damaging racial stereotyping can be, but it manages to get across this message in a really funny way.
In the Heart of the Sea by Nathaniel Philbrick, a story of the Nantucket whale ship Essex, which in 1819 was rammed and sunk by a sperm whale. And it tells how the survivors of the sinking tried to make it back home.
Einstein's Dreams by Alan Lightman, an intellectually provocative book that's easy to read and a great way to learn physics.
Waterworks by E.L. Doctorow is a thriller about an investigative reporter who is looking into, or who's following a person who was previously thought to be dead.
Rochester Institute of Technology is offering an opportunity for students who will be entering their senior year in the fall of 2014. Students can experience life as a college student at a 2-day career conference offered at Rochester Institute of Technology on July 18th through 19th or August 1st through 2nd, 2014. Registration will be available in June. Please visit the Career Center for more information.
That will do it for your news today. For all of us here at Amity's Real News, I am James Ottaviano.
And I'm Josh Timko.
Thanks for watching.
Have a great summer, and you stay classy, Amity.